Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf on the how-to video. So in this video I'm going to be talking about what is the best motorcycle tyre to use for off-road use. Catch you inside.
RevelatorAlf.
Hello, welcome to RevelatorAlf. Hope you're enjoying this series so far. Please subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you get all the latest videos. Now, in this video, I'm really talking about what is the best motorcycle tyre to use if you want to start riding off-road. Now, let's say, for example, most of your riding is going to be on the asphalt, the tarmac, and you're not going to go out in wet conditions, either on the road or on the dirt trails. And you're not really going to go into rutted areas or soft ground. Even if you do venture off-road, let's say on farm tracks or dirt trails that are hard and compact, well, the best tyre to use is the tyre that you've already got. You don't really have to have an off-road tyre, like a motocross style tyre, to actually start going off-road. Now, I've been riding for bikes for nearly 40 odd years, and I started off off-road, so riding farm tracks on the farms, that kind of thing. Now then as I got older, I got into road bikes, but I was always riding the road bikes off-road on farm tracks, compacted trails, that kind of thing, and all the time I was using just normal road tyres. So the road tyres have got lots of latitude. They're great for a road, obviously, because they'll stick to the road, they'll grip, but also they're very capable off-road. Now, the current bike that I'm riding is a Triumph Explorer, 2017 model, and for the first sort of 7,000 or 8,000 miles on it, I was predominantly 50–60% was off-road, and the whole time I was riding all year round in the messy stuff, the dirty stuff, whatever it was, really gloopy stuff, on the dirt trails, and I was still on the road tyres, and it did perfectly well, no problem at all. So this last summer I then changed the tyres and I went for a really off-road style tyre that is still road legal. So what I'm currently on Michelin Anakee Wild tyres. Now, I'm not saying these are the best tyres, I'm just telling you what I'm on. I'll put a link in the description to where I can get them from. The point I'm trying to make is that the only reason that I went on for these off-road tyres is actually I was planning this winter to go into more severe muddy tracks and everything, where really you did need a bit more traction than the road tyres. Now, road tyres, as soon as you start getting to wet, muddy conditions off-road, and it isn't a compacted trail, yes, you're really going to suffer, and the bike may slip from under you. But if you're going on dry, compacted trails, then really just a road tyre would be absolutely fine. So let's say now you really want to go off-road. So I would first of all just go on your normal bike, whatever it is, as long as you haven't got ruts or big holes that you're having to go over, it's just a farm track or whatever, dry compacted trail, just go on your normal bike, that'll be absolutely fine. As long as you've got a bit of clearance, go slowly, normal road tyres. If you then want to step up and start going through rutted stuff and maybe some muddy fields or whatever, then you might want to start considering an off-road style tyre. Now, there are lots on the market, and go to your local tyre dealer and you'll have all sorts which might be slightly better than a road tyre, maybe slightly a little bit more, and then so on right on the end. Now, the Anakee Wilds, you could say, are right on the edge of the road limit use, and they are more of the off-road tyre. So they're kind of very similar, the tread pattern very similar to a motocross tyre. Okay, so now these will dig into the dirt a lot more and so on and so forth. However, if in between the tread blocks, if you like, it gets all caked in mud, then really they're not going to grip anyway. So you need to, just because you've got off-road tyres on your motorcycle doesn't necessarily mean they're going to perform better if you're not using them correctly. So you've got to have a clear tread pattern when you want to go off-road. Now, in saying that, an off-road tyre or a better off-road tyre will certainly enable you to do a lot more stuff off-road. And it really depends what your bike is, what tyres are available. You know, whether it's a Michelin, whether it's a Dunlop, whether it's a Bridgestone, whatever it is. You know, the choices are limitless. But you can have different grades according to what your style is. So I think the first thing you need to really ask is, what is the best motorcycle tyre for off-road use? It's what's the best tyre for your type of riding and where you're going to be riding. That's what you've got to ask yourself. If you're going to be riding 90% on the tarmac, on the asphalt, and then you're going to be doing hard compact trails, then you don't need an off-road tyre. You just need your normal road tyres. It'll be absolutely fine. Even those normal road tyres, you know, do quite well in the wind. If you're even going 70%, you know, on road, 30% off road, and it's still relatively compacted trails, stick to your road tyres, because they'll last a lot longer and they'll be better for you. If you're starting to get into sort of 50-50 percentages, 60-40, something like that, and the trails are really going to be muddy and you want to ride through the winter and it's going to be boggy, yeah, then you might want to start really considering off-road tyres. Or on-road, off-road tyres, some intermediate tyres, something that's got a blockier tread pattern, whatever it is, because they're all going to perform in the same kind of way. And then it comes down to what is the best off-road tyre. Well, really, do you know what? It comes down to personal preference and also how you ride that bike as well. If the tread pattern gets full of mud, then it's not going to grip anything. It's just going to spin through the mud and it won't grip anything. So you really need to, you know, make sure that you're not, you know, opening the revs too much, not spinning the back wheel. You've got to try and keep your revs low when you're going off-road, unless you really have to give it some beans sometimes, and that's what will get you through. But most of the time, just watch where you're, you know, watch where you're riding, where you're riding, and ride up to the limits, the performance limits of the tyre. Okay, lots of people think, okay, I've got an off-road tyre, I can go ride and do whatever I want now. It doesn't quite work like that. You know, in many ways, you've got to be more careful with an off-road tyre than an on-road tyre. Okay, so that's it. If you do put off-road tyres or road legal tyres that are more off-road tyres on your bike, just be very aware that as soon as you start riding on, you know, brand new tyre, they take a while to bed in, and the bike is going to be very sketchy, and it's going to be, you know, wobbling all over the place as those blocks are moving on the tarmac especially. If you're off-road, they're going to be quite good straight away. Now, in custom bike building world, they started to use off-road tyres quite a lot for a look, really, and I think they're using a lot of Anakee wild tyres, you know, the blocky tyre, you know, to give a bit of a street bike and more of a rougher look. I would never ever put one of those sort of tyres on a custom bike, no matter how good you think it is, because as soon as you start riding that, for the first few, you know, couple hundred miles, it is very, very sketchy. And especially if, you know, a custom bike build is kind of the rake and trail has all been, you know, stretched and so on and so forth. Not good tyres for it. Okay, these are off-road tyres, and if you're going to take your bike off-road, the bike needs to be set up for off-road, really. But I say, you know, my opinion is you can take virtually any bike off-road, but obviously within reason. It's the same with motorcycle tyres. You can take any motorcycle road tyre off-road and it will operate perfectly well within reason. So an off-road tyre, the best one is the one that suits your kind of riding, suits where you're going to be riding, suits what weather conditions you're going to be riding, and also the best one is where you as a rider ride up to its performance limits and don't ask too much of it. Otherwise it will fail. It will fail to grip or dig in to whatever you need to do. So you need to really, you know, take it easy. Now you can all watch the videos, you can all watch TV, you know, you're hearing, you know, like motocrossers, you know, 250cc, you know, Honda CRs, whatever they are, you know, just, you know, hooning it about a place. Well, the problem is that those are enduro or motocross bikes. They're a lot lighter and they're designed for that kind of thing. However, if you're putting off-road tyres on your, let's say, adventure bike, well, first of all, your bike's a lot heavier. It's not designed to do what those sort of bikes are doing. And these are really, yes, it'll get into the muddy stuff and it'll get into, you know, pretty serious stuff as mine does. And check out the riding times and the Bikers Travelog series, and I'll put links up there for you. But, you know, you've got to look at, well, most really adventure riding is going to be adventure riding, off-road riding is going to be on compacted rocky trails, hard trails. Yeah, it might be in the muddy stuff, but it's never going to, you're never really going to ask the adventure bike to do what a motocross bike can do. And if you try and do that, as I'm always trying to do that, then you'll suddenly realize that actually they fall short quite quickly. So, you know, look at where you're riding, what is the best, cross-match the tyre to your style of riding, and that's going to be the best tyre. Anyway, hope you found this useful, and, you know, as I say, you know, they're only suggestions, it's only what I'm riding and what my experience of 40 years of riding, both on-road and off-road, what kind of works and what doesn't. But it is a fallacy to think that to go off-road riding, you must have an off-road bike and you must have off-road tyres. Okay, that's wrong. Okay, anybody tells you that is wrong. Okay, if you're getting into the serious stuff, yes, but if you're not, you just normal road tyres will be absolutely fine. Right, well, I hope you found this useful. If so, you know, give it a like, and you know, leave your comments below and let me know what you think as well. That'd be really helpful. And, you know, please subscribe and hit the notifications bell, and I'll catch you on the next video, whenever that is. Cheers now.